Today on Falling Sun Acres, we're going to be making this. It's a corner cabinet. Looks pretty awesome. I started with this piece right here. It was a former shelf. And so kind of a fun, interesting project to start with something already and make it into something new. And so this was a TV mount of some sort, and started by sanding it down and decided I wanted to darken it up, but the flame just wasn't doing it. And so I broke out the dark walnut stain from Minwax. I tried a little bit on the corner and remembered quickly that I need to use pre-stain conditioner, otherwise it is going to blotch up real bad. And so after using the pre-stain conditioner, everything works flawlessly. It turned it super dark, which is going to be good because you can see the room that it's going in is mostly kind of gray tones, and it pops really good. And so just adding some stain here, filling in all the nooks and crannies, and then I'm going to let it dry overnight. So it is the next day, and you can see that it kind of dulls out a little bit. So it is time to break out the shellac. I end up adding, I don't know, probably 10 coats of shellac to this over time. And I know that's probably overkill, but I figure these guys are going to use it quite a bit, put crock pots and things like that on top of it. Kids are going to leave drinks on it and all kinds of things. And so it needs to be able to take some abuse. And I like shellac because if anything goes wrong, the customer can just recoat, sand a little bit, and it's back to normal. After I'm done with that, it is time to make some framework up. I'm going to be cutting some 45-degree angles here. Basically, this frame is just for underneath what I just worked on, and it's going to support the framework of the front. I'm going to have two doors that are going to open up, and that's really all I kind of need. It's not too crazy of a project, a lot of thinking involved, and then some application. And so now it's time to rip down some barn wood. I'm cutting them down into like 5 and 6 inch pieces. I don't think I ended up with like uniform pieces in the end because the wood I was working with had splits in various places. This is like legit barn wood, came off a barn at some point. You can see some spots are pretty punky and some spots are cracked, split. And so, yeah, I'm just trying to make the best use of the materials that the clients provided to me, which was pretty awesome that they went out and found this stuff for their project. It's always cool when a client gets involved in their stuff. And check out that weather pattern coming in. I had a little bit of time to do some work before this front came in and was about to just blitz us with rain. And so getting things done was, it was a time lesson here for sure, because I was running out of it quickly. And so here I'm just laying things out. I'm trying to figure out, hey, exactly how big does this frame need to be? Because I'm planning on just, popping some screws into the wall into studs to have that support it, because I work by myself and typically I carry this stuff in and then put it on the wall by myself. And so I need all the help that I can get from simple things like 2x2s put into the wall as a support brace. And so you can see I've got the underneath shelf here pretty well mocked up. That's how it's going to look. I just modeled it off the top one, which I know fits the wall because it came off the wall just from up above. And so I just used that as a template to cut those pieces. It's time to rip down even more barnwood. I wanted to make sure I had enough, so I brought extra because this was a build on site kind of thing, which I'm not super familiar with. It's new to me. And I'm going through and sanding and doing another coat or 3 or 7 of shellac. And every now and then you'll see me pull something off. I just get these bristles sometimes stuck in there. I need to get better about that. And so sanding down some of the base wood. This is not barn wood. This is actually from a corn crib that's on my property. Just needed a new life and it wasn't getting any use. And it's really good, like 1x12 pine material from who knows when, maybe like the 1950s, I guess. Looks good. Again, sealing with shellac just to make sure that the top is, nice and sealed. I'll seal the bottom too as well in a little bit, and just making sure that the surfaces that they put stuff on are clean enough and usable for anything that they want to do inside of this cabinet. and it's go time. So we are here at the actual cabin slash man cave. It's an awesome location. They've got a concrete floor that is epoxied, and did have to work around, I don't know what you'd call it, like base molding or some kind of a baseboard like structure. But that wasn't too big of a problem. And so just used my 2x2 supports and put them in different places. It was pre-planned. I tried to have almost everything done in advance. That way when I showed up, I could try to do my job quickly. And even though I had everything done in advance, it still took me quite a long time. It's just one of those deals where I take my time. I want everything to turn out as well as it can. Not just, for my own sake, but like, the customers, they're paying me money to do this job, and I want to do a really good job about it. And so I used my laser level to make sure everything is nice and level. Go ahead and put the piece back on top and then screw into studs in the wall. They had that kind of pre-done from before when it was up on the wall up above. And then here I'm just adding some supports, and I'm going to notch out some spaces here because they're not quite where I want them to be. I'm using the Milwaukee oscillating tool, and if you don't have one of those and you're looking for one, that thing is sweet. My brother had one when he was up here helping me with a project, and we used that to cut through some ceiling stuff, some plaster, and some other things, and it zips right through stuff. That thing is so much better than the Dremel multi-tool that I used to own. And that one was corded, and this one is battery powered, and it's, 1,000 times better, I think. So I'm finishing up my framework here. It's just either 2x2s or 2x4s, and this is going to allow me to just basically brad nail everything in using my nail gun once I get all of this exactly the way that I want it. But it's important that it fits right, so I have to take my time here. Now, unfortunately, you'll see here in a bit that after I put these pieces in, all of a sudden we go from not having doors to having doors and being a finished product. Had some issues with my recording, didn't work out, and so unfortunately it's not going to be a 100% complete watch of build, but all you're missing is door install and door build. It's not that much stuff, YouTube says that 99% of you guys aren't even watching by this point, so who am I even talking to at this point besides myself? And that's fine. I don't mind talking to myself. I think it's a great conversation. I think more people should do some self-talk as long as it's positive. And so I'm just going to go ahead and put these pieces on, and then unfortunately, yep. So here's the finished product. I think it turned out great, and I really appreciate the opportunity to work for such great people. And if you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe for more of it. Have a great day.